When your twin flame pulls away, it doesn't just feel like distance. It feels like confusion, like silence where there used to be connection, like something real suddenly became unreachable. And the hardest part is you can still feel them. So you're left wondering what is actually happening right now. Let's talk about what the energy is really doing beneath the surface because this is not as random as it feels. So, first, let's ground this. Distance in a connection like this is not always rejection, but it is a shift in energy. And that shift is usually happening for a reason, not to punish you, but to rebalance something that's been out of alignment. You see, the energy is rebalancing. So, in many intense connections, one person can become more emotionally invested, aware, or awake than the other. So, what happens? Well, the energy becomes uneven. One is leaning in and the other is pulling back. Distance often happens to reset that balance, not to end the connection, but to bring both people back into their own center. You see, it forces individual growth. When someone is constantly present, it's easy to focus on them, their actions, their feelings, their validation. But when that presence is removed, you're brought back to yourself, your emotions, your patterns, your needs. And while that can feel uncomfortable, this is where real growth begins. You see, the emotional noise has to settle. When a connection becomes intense, emotions can take over. Overthinking, anxiety, attachment, fear. Distance creates space, and in that space, the emotional noise starts to quiet down. So clarity becomes possible again, and you begin to see things not just through emotion, but through awareness. The connection is moving from external to internal, and this is a big shift. Instead of relying on physical presence or communication, you start to feel the connection differently, more internally, more grounded, less dependent on constant interaction, and more rooted in your own emotional stability. Because you're being asked to release control. And this is the hardest part because when someone pulls away, the instinct is to reach out, fix, or understand it immediately. But this phase is teaching you something different. You cannot control the connection, only how you show up within it. And real strength comes from staying centered, even when things feel uncertain. So let's be clear, because this is where people get stuck. Distance is not an excuse for inconsistency or lack of effort or emotional unavailability. It doesn't mean that you should accept breadcrumbs or stay in a state of confusion indefinitely. A real aligned connection, when it's ready, will include clarity, communication, and mutual effort. So, this isn't about waiting endlessly. It's about understanding what the distance is teaching you right now. So, here's the truth. When your twin flame is distant, the energy isn't disappearing, it's shifting, rebalancing, redirecting, refocusing you back onto yourself. And while it may feel like separation on the surface, it's actually an opportunity for deeper alignment within yourself. So if this gave you clarity during a confusing time, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're breaking down these experiences in a way that keeps you grounded, aware, and emotionally strong. And I want to hear from you. So, what have you noticed about yourself during times of distance? Drop it in the comments, guys. I'll see you in the next video.